Welcome back to Mrs. Steiner Reads. I'm Mrs. Steiner, and this is a very special episode. This episode marks 1 year that we have been doing Mrs. Steiner Reads and 1 year that you have been watching us on YouTube. So happy birthday, Mrs. Steiner Reads. It's so exciting. And so I thought that today we should read my favorite birthday book. Now, you know this character. Way back in episode 4, we read the book Epossumondas. Do you remember that one? Do you remember it was a possum and he lived with his mama and she kept sending him to his auntie's house to bring stuff home, and she told him how to bring it home, but every time he would do it wrong, and it's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you need to go back and watch episode 4 because it's one of my favorites. Now, I have another Epossumondas book today. I couldn't help it because it's my very favorite birthday book. This one's called Epossumondas Saves the Day. Now remember, this book is written by Colleen Sally, and this character actually looks like Colleen Sally. And if you go back, you can see me dressed up like Colleen Sally. That's pretty funny too. And it's illustrated by Janet Stevens. Now, we've talked about Janet Stevens and Susan Stevens Crummell before. They have lots of books in your library, so make sure that when you go to the library, you look up this one under S for Sally, but make sure and also look in the S's for Stevens, because Janet Stevens and her sister have tons and tons of really good books. So let's look. This one's in E for easy, S-A-L for Sally, for the author's last name. You're gonna love this one. It's one of my favorites. I know I say that every time, but really it is. I love this book. Are you ready? Okay, on the first page, he and his mama are getting ready for a party. Once upon a time, but maybe not so long ago, Epossumondas and his mama lived in a little cottage back by the sugarcane fields in Laurel Valley on Bayou Lafourche. Andy lived down the road a piece. It was Epossumondas' birthday, and he and mama were getting ready for his party. Epossumondas was squeezing lemons for the lemonade. Mama was making his favorite dessert, strawberry shortcake. Now, not the kind made with cake, but the kind made with sweet biscuits. She put all the mixins in her bowl and she reached for her sody saleratus. The box was empty, and you know you can't make big, light, fluffy biscuits without sody saleratus. Now let's talk real quick about what sody saleratus is. Do you see that box she has, that orange box? It's baking soda, but she's calling it sody saleratus. That's what that is. Well, I swanny, cried Mama. This is what happens when you wait till the last minute. Can I go get the sody for you, please? Epossumondas said. No, sweetie, I need your help with the lemonade, so you keep on squeezing. I'll go by myself. Well, just then, Baby Gator arrived early for the party. Oh, good, Mama cried. Honey, could you scoot over to the store and get me a box of sody saleratus? Tell Mr. Leslie to put it on my bill, and you come on back here, lickety-split. Now, don't you dilly-dally. So Baby Gator skipped along the creek that meanders cattywampus through the field, singing sody, sody, sody saleratus. He crossed the creek, jumping on the stepping stones, 1, 2, 3, and then ran into the store and asked for the sody. He thanked Mr. Leslie and skipped out singing sody, sody, sody saleratus. But when he got back to the creek, the biggest stepping stone moved and a head reared up out of it. It wasn't a stone at all. It was a great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapping turtle. That snapper snarled, Baby Gator, you woke me up. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat you and your sody saleratus. And he swallowed Baby Gator and his sody all in one big gulp. Well, back home, Mama was about to have a hissy fit because Baby Gator was nowhere in sight. I've been squeezing and squeezing, Mama, Epossumondas said. Can I go get the sody for you, please? No, honey, I need you to set up that pin the tail game. I'll go by myself. Just then, Auntie arrived. Oh, Thank goodness, Mama said. Sister, will you go down to the store and see if you can find that pokey baby gator and my sody Sally Radis? Auntie galloped along toward Bayou LaForge, mumbling, sody, sody, sody Sally Radis. She crossed those stepping stones 1, 2, 3 and galloped into the store. Mr. Leslie said, why, that little rascal left a long time ago. He must be dawdling in the creek. Here's another box of sody just in case. So Auntie galloped back, mumbling, sody, sody, sody Sally Radis. But when she got to the creek, that great huge ugly Louisiana Snap Turtle reared up and growled, "Oh, Daddy, I just ate a baby gator and his sody Sally Radis. Now I'm going to eat you too." And he swallowed Annie and her sody in one big gulp. Back at the house, Mama was sopping mad. Where did they get to? They could go to Plum Nelly and back in this much time. The pin the tail is ready, Mama, Epossumondas said. Can I go get the sody for you, please? Did you see the pin the tail game? He has the pin on his tail. He pinned his whole tail. No, Sugar Pie, I need your help with the balloons. There's hanging to be done. I'll go myself. Mama stomped off, grumbling, sody, sody, sody Sally Radis. She stomped over those stepping stones, 1, 2, 3, and went into the store. Land's sake, said Mr. Leslie, they wouldn't both be dawdling in the creek. I can't imagine where they are. Here, you better take 2 boxes of sody just in case. So Mama stomped back toward the creek, grumbling, sody, sody, sody Sally Radis. But when she got there, you know what happened, don't you? That great, huge, ugly Louisiana Snap Turtle reared up and growled, "Oh, Mama, I just ate a baby gator and his sody Sally Radis, and old Auntie and her sody. She looked a lot like you, come to think of it. Now I'm going to eat you too." And he swallowed Mama and her sody in one big gulp. Back at home, Epossumondas was wondering what was keeping everyone. He'd been hanging and hanging. He was supposed to hang the balloons, but he's just hanging himself. He'd been hanging and hanging, and still no one came home. That little possum was getting as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Did you catch that? As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. That would be nervous, wouldn't it? What happened to everyone? Epossumondas said to himself. No baby gator, no auntie, no mama, no party. I'd better go find them myself. So Epossumondas skedaddled along the road, shouting, "Sody, sody, sody Sally Radis." He ran across the stepping stones 1, 2, 3 and skedaddled right into that store. When Mr. Leslie saw him, that man was flabbergasted. Good gracious, I don't know where all your folks are. You'd better take all the sody just in case. So Epossumondas started back shouting, "Sody, sody, sody Sally Radis." But when he got to the creek, that great huge ugly Louisiana Snap Turtle reared up and stuck out his scrawny wrinkled neck. "Grrr! Thumping gizzards," gasped Epossumondas. "I thought you were a stepping stone, but you're a great, huge, ugly Louisiana Snapping Turtle." "You're right, Possum. I am a great, huge, ugly Louisiana Snapping Turtle, and I'm hungry. I just ate an old mama and her sody, an old Annie and her sody, and a baby gator and his sody." "Mr. Snapper, you couldn't have eaten all of them. That's just too mean." "Possum, my whole self is just filled up with mean juice. Now I'm going to eat you too." The old turtle snapped at Epossumondas, but just before his jaws clamped down, that little possum hollered, "Don't eat me! It's my birthday and I haven't even had my party yet." He hightailed it up the nearest cypress tree, screaming at his head off all the way. Bah! That great, huge, ugly Louisiana Snapper Turtle wasn't going to let Epossumondas get away so fast. He lumbered up the tree and growled all the louder, opening his humongous jaws wider. Epossumondas hollered, "Mr. Snapper, you better spit out my folks or you'll be sorry." "Huh? What can a puny little critter like you do to me?" And then that old turtle started bumping his head so hard against the cypress tree, Epossumondas thought he might tumble right out. He squeezed his eyes shut and threw the only thing he had, a box of sody saleratus. Gulp! That sody went right down the turtle's throat. And then he threw his second box. Gulp! And another. Gulp! And another. Gulp! Now, you may not know this, but when that much sody mixes with all that mean juice inside a great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapper turtle, something unbelievable happens. That ornery old snapper puffed up like a big, light, fluffy biscuit. Epossumondas held tight to his branch and kept his eyes squeezed shut. And the great, huge, ugly Louisiana snapper turtle got bigger and bigger and rounder and then floated right off the ground higher and higher and higher until pop! He burst wide open just like a birthday balloon. Out tumbled Mama, Auntie, and Baby Gator, all in perfect shape. "Oh, my sweet little patootie saved us, honey. You're gooder than grits," cried Mama. "And look at this. One box of sody saleratus was safe in my purse. Now we can make some biscuits for our little hero." Do you notice that the little hero is still in the tree? Yeah, so brave. So everyone marched home singing, "Sody, sody, sody saleratus." And then they had the best birthday party for the bravest possum ever, Epossumondas. You know I love a story with a happy ending. Wasn't that so sweet? And look at the back of the book. It's got the turtle and he's got Band-Aids all over him. And that kind of makes me feel better because nothing actually bad happened to him. He just got some Band-Aids. So no turtles were harmed in the filming of this episode, boys and girls. Okay. All right. But I love that story. It's so funny. And it's hilarious that Epossumondas is the hero and he was so brave. But he wasn't very brave at all, was he? But he sure was funny. Okay, so I hope you love this book, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching Mrs. Steiner Reads for a whole year. It has been so much fun, and I really hope that you stick with us for more years to come. Now, I have to say thank you to just one very special person before we leave, and I want you to say thank you to him too, once again. My brother, Jeff, because Jeff, if you didn't edit the videos, I sure wouldn't look very good. So we all need to say thank you to Jeff. All right, so I hope you guys are staying safe and I hope you're staying in your house and getting ready to go to school very soon. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, Mrs. Steiner Reads. You can follow me on Facebook at Mrs. Steiner Reads, and you can like me on Twitter at Mrs. Steiner Reads. I'm so happy you came to see us today, and I thank you for following me for a whole year. See you soon.